Good evening to you. This is our evening broadcast. Let's see. The topic for today is fleeing when no one is pursuing. Is a character trait that you see in people and you comment about it. In actual fact, it's there in each one of us. This fleeing has a sense of something happened in the past that's pushing you, and you really don't know how much that push had an effect upon you, and the push seems to have derailed you, so to say. So Genesis chapter 4, verse 10. The Lord, this is the first family. Cain, the older brother, killed Abel, the younger brother. Can you imagine the grief that the parents had, the first parents, Adam and Eve? So God asked him, your brother's blood is crying out to me. Where is your brother? Then Cain took the stand and he said, I am not my brother's keeper, or am I my brother's keeper? So then God confronted, your brother's blood is crying to me. So yesterday our topic was spilt blood cries vengeance, and we examined how in different nations how blood is spilt. Sometimes we say innocent blood, yes. So now this is what God said. Now Genesis chapter 4 verse 11, now you are cursed from the ground. That is meaning you are diminished. Your effort on the ground will get less and less dividends back. That's curse means a diminution, reduction, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. The reason being that brother's blood fell into the land. Now the same thing will come when we look at the James chapter 5. Just have a look at James. This is what it says. James chapter 5 says, come now, you rich, weep and howl for your miseries which are coming upon you. Your riches have rotted and your garments have become moth-eaten. Your gold and your silver have rusted. Their rust will be a witness against you. What is the problem? Behold, the pay of the laborers who mowed your fields and which has been withheld by you cries out against you. And the outcry of those who did the harvesting has reached the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. That the land will become, what shall I say, will bring thorns and briars and so on when injustice happens, and certainly when bloodshed happens. And you know, in the days of slavery, master owned those who are working on the land, and even if a slave is put to death, there's no inquiry, no inquest, no court of justice to examine that crime. So we are thankful that days of slavery are over. There's no open slavery, but there's a lot of slavery that goes on under the guise of different enterprises. So that is just how God looks at it. So in Genesis chapter 4, the Lord is pronouncing to Cain the consequences of what he did. The ground will no longer yield its strength to you. You will be away. So that is the productivity part of it. The work will be very hard. Now Adam also engaged an issue that the ground, you will have to earn out of the sweat of your ground. Now in this case, there's a positive resistance in the earth if you do unjustly with your laborers, with your brother or whoever it is. The earth's dividends further reduces. When you cultivate the ground, it will no longer yield its strength to you. You will be a vagrant and a wanderer on the earth. So you can ask, when a former generation has treated workers unjustly, does the iniquity come down? That is why it says the iniquity runs to a third and fourth generation yet to come, and this is true in many work fields. And when people do land grabs and so on from other people because of their positions of power, all this gets woven into what you hand over as inheritance, and later your children can say, why are we suffering? And that would have been because of unjust gain in a former generation. Now this also may happen when there are industries or work earning methods which ruin the futures of other people. Gambling industry, horse racing, betting places, Then the alcohol industry. When your ancestors have been involved in such industries that bring ruin to families, then there are going to be consequences of what you hand over. So we must learn the biblical process of restoration, reconciliation, and how to put right unjust gain that has happened coming down to generations. And if we have got into our hand unjust gain, how do we deal with it is a real issue. So personally, what happened? You will be a vagrant and a wanderer. A vagrant is you feel you don't know where you're going, therefore your trajectory is uncertain. Vagrant and wanderer. No, vagrant is one who does not feel rest in his dwelling place. So in your house, if there are villages where you don't feel rest, they probably have a history of blood crying out of the ground. Cain said to the Lord, my punishment is too great to bear. Too great to bear. Which is not true, because Cain killed Abel, but God didn't kill Cain. God saved Cain's life. So when he says, my punishment is too great to bear, that's a cry of the fallen human heart that disowns themselves from what they did. They don't own up. Secondly, they feel they are unjustly treated. The offender is taking offense when justices are served. That's human nature. Cain said to the Lord, my punishment is too great to bear. Behold, you have driven me this day from the face of the ground, and from your face I will be hidden. God really didn't say that. From God's face he will be hidden. And I will be a vagrant. That was his choice. And a wanderer, because soon after this you will realize he decided what to do. And whoever finds me will kill me. So when you have killed, the blood guiltiness brings upon you, my life is not safe. That's what happened. So the Lord said to him, therefore, whoever kills Cain, vengeance will be taken on him sevenfold. So God said, no, vengeance belongs to the Lord. I did not put a death sentence on you, though you killed your brother. I removed the death sentence out of you. I redeemed your life. So there is a issue of redeeming the life. Justices didn't come to Cain. God stalled it. God is the just judge of heaven. He said, you will not suffer like this, though you deserve it. And the Lord appointed a sign for Cain, so that no one finding him would slay him. So whatever that sign was, God appointed, God saw to it that Cain would not be put to death. Then Cain went out of the presence of the Lord. So this is the second time Adam and Eve came out of the garden, but they didn't come out of the presence of the Lord, because the Lord was speaking to them and still getting them to know him and so on. But now it says, Genesis 4:16, Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and settled in the land of northeast of Eden. So the separation was complete. First was Adam and Eve sinning, going disobedient, but God keeping fellowship. Now Cain chooses to go away from the presence of the Lord. You will presently see, till Seth, another son, was born, Cain did not, and Cain's line didn't have anything to do with God. So that's how that line of not keeping, the people wanted to do nothing to do with God, comes around, because they did not want to be, Cain did not want to be accountable to God and put it right with God. So let's meet again tomorrow. Thank you for listening.